One day, a very poor village was located at the edge of the forest, and a boy named Masrur came out of his house. He collected fruits for food. He noticed that the trees were without fruits, and he went and did not know where his feet would take him. He went and searched for food to eat or fruits until darkness came. He did not think to himself until he was struck by a large, huge tree. He became aware of what was around him and said to himself that he was in a place he had never entered before and had not found fruits. But he was tired of searching for fruits and had to get out of the forest immediately. But how does he get out when the forest is very dark? So he must wait until daylight and perhaps find food in this forest in order to eat whatever he wants. Suddenly, Masrur heard a voice coming from under his feet, a call for help, and he looked and saw a very deep hole from which this voice was coming, and he thanked his Lord that he had not fallen into it. The one who was calling out for help was calling out and saying, "For God's sake, save me, help me. Is there anyone who can hear me?" Masrur would not see anything because this hole was very dark. Masrur said, "Where is this sound from?" "This is the voice of a human being who had fallen into a hole dug by hunters." And the voice came again saying, "Pull me out of this hole." And he gave the one who pulled me out 100 gold coins. But he was pleased after what he heard. He would not believe what he heard, and he went to get the tree branch, which was long, and he extended his hand and said, "Get stuck in this, man." He said to him, "I will withdraw you and park on the condition that you give me what you promised me." He pulled with great force the tree branch, and he felt the weight of the branch, and he moved back. Suddenly, Masrur in anger shouted. That's when he saw a huge wolf jumping out of the hole, and Masrur left the tree branch in shock at what he saw. He said, "Oh, my lord, this is not even what a wolf promised me." But Masrur heard a voice again, the voice of a human being inside the hole, saying, "Sir, please take me out of here, and I will give you 200 pieces of gold." Masrur was surprised and said, "But who was brought out of the hole, and who fell into it?" Masrur brought a tree branch and placed it inside the hole. He also left the tree branch when he felt the weight of the branch, and his surprise was more intense than the first surprise. A huge monkey came out of the hole and disappeared as he exited the hole. Masrur walked, kicking his feet on the ground to get away from this strange place. He suddenly stopped when he heard the voice of another person saying, "Save me, brave man, and I will give you all my wealth." Masrur said, "Who are you?" He said, "I am the richest of the rich people in the country, and I will give you my wealth when you save me." Masrur took the tree branch, after searching for it, and threw it into the hole. When he leaned back forcefully, when the branch was heavy, this time a man was pulled out of the hole, thanked Masrur, and hugged him. Masrur was happy this time when this was a human being who came out of the pit and was waiting for this man's promise to him. He dreamed of owning a palace, but he told himself to divide the wealth between him and the man. Masrur said to the man, "When will you give me your wealth as you promised me?" And the man said, "Tomorrow I will go to my palace in the Green City." The man went thinking that he did this and said this because of fear after he fell into the hole. He fell asleep, happy that he would take half of the rich man's wealth. Early in the morning, Masrur quickly went to the Green Palace and was welcomed by the man. He told him that when he was in the hole, he was afraid and death threatened him, and he told him, "I will give you all my wealth, but I will give you only 20 gold coins." But Masrur refused to take these gold pieces and said, "No, you promised me this, and you must give me what you promised me." and here I am taking half of your wealth instead of all of it as you promised me." The man said, "What is this generosity, Masrur?" And the man called to the guards, saying, "Take this man out of the palace." Masrur came out and said, "I will go to the judge and take my rights from you." In front of the judge, the rich man said, "I thank Masrur for saving my life, but this does not mean that I should give him all my wealth, but that I should give him 20 gold pieces." But the judge told him to double the amount and pay him 40 gold pieces. Masrur was not speaking and took the money, but he opened his hands to the sky and said, "You are a witness, my lord, to what happened. Take my rights from this man, and may God bless him, honor him, and double the amount for him greatly and abundantly." One day, a cloud occurred that cast a shadow over the rich man's farms, and it was the locusts that destroyed the man's farms. He lost his money and regretted what he did, and did not give half of his wealth to Masrur.